The Yi family once settled in Beijing. All Yelena and Nyuzani knew each other since they were young, and they became the same table when they were in middle school, and their feelings are like sisters. Originally, Nyuzani looked ordinary, and she was inconspicuous when she mixed into the crowd. She belonged to the green leaves around Yelena. But now I see this close friend of her boudoir, but she has changed a lot. Although she still looks like this, she adds 5 or 6 points. Pretty, some people can't look away. At the class reunion, the male classmates gathered around Nyuzani to show their hospitality, like stubbles of leeks, desperately trying to please, but Yelena was left out of the cold, and the image that had been carefully prepared before could not be used. Although pursuing a lot, Nyuzani only has a crush on Mr. Jing. She has had a crush on each other since she was in school, and now she has finally developed into a romantic relationship. Seeing Nyuzani being held in the moon by the stars, there are so many peach blossoms, Yelena is envious, and she also hopes to be happy with Jin Xingjian. Nyuzani knew the thoughts of a good sister, so she took the initiative to talk about her relationship with an expert, and specializes in the treatment of lovesickness between men and women. If she asks for a jujube kernel necklace from him, she will achieve her wish within a few days. At the same time, Jin Xingjian and Jiabel went to Zhang's house at the appointed time, and found that the house was messy, the floor was full of blood, and a jujube kernel necklace was left on the scene, which inferred that Mr. Zhang was in an accident. The one-eyed general came to Dongfu to tell the progress of the matter. On the wall was a portrait of Yu Shibai. Lian Zhuan came to deliver the food as usual, leaving every time when the delivery was finished, and made a little trick, trying to figure out the relationship between Jin Xingjian and Yu Shibai. However, Lian Zhuan witnessed Jin Xingjian erase Yi Ming's memory, so she was a little surprised at her question, but through this passage, Yi Ming was even more sure that he knew Yu Shibai, and the entanglement between the three was quite deep. Because of his many gaffes, Lian Zhuan regretted it. He wanted to simply poison the food, and there would be no trouble for Yi Ming ever since. However, thinking about it, it would be somewhat difficult to practice it seriously. Lian Zhuan hesitated for a long time and failed to make up his mind, until he accidentally spilled the poisonous powder into the rice porridge. She could only feel God's will. Yi Ming saw that the porridge was poisonous, and took this opportunity to continue talking. Originally, Lian Zhuan didn't answer, but when he heard Yi Ming talk about her and Yu Shibai, he couldn't help but respond subconsciously, which happened to be caught in the other party's trap. Knowing that he was being tricked, Lian Zhuan turned and left, but he was afraid that Yi Ming would be angry and drink the poisonous porridge, so he hurriedly hid in a corner and took a peek. Fortunately, he was not as worried as he was. Beijing Kang's cousin brought a group of people to the door to make trouble. Xiaopi immediately ran to ask Yi Qingchun for help. Not long after, Yi Qingchun brought several officials and wives to the door. Even though his cousin Platinum was arrogant, he did not dare to offend the senior officials' wives rashly. He could only endure their siege and fled home bruised and bruised. Yelena became interested in the jujube kernel necklace, so she followed Nyuzani out of the city to look for Ja'aran the next day, walked several long streets, and wandered around to Ja'aran's mansion. The so-called master, everyone respects him as Acacia Red Bin. He lives in a spacious courtyard. He seems to have a good life, sitting on a low couch with his long hair tied up. Before Yelena could speak, Red Bin Acacia knew why she came. Moreover, as a woman in the new era, Yelena didn't think there was anything wrong with unrequited men. So, facing the red-faced expert in front of her, she still took her own "that little thing, I said it thoroughly." When Acacia Red Bin heard that the other party had a crush on Jin Xingjian, he was startled at first, and then took out the jujube necklace. Its appearance was no different from Nyuzani's necklace. It seemed relatively unremarkable, but it made Yelena feel more calm. There was joy involuntarily. Yelena returned to the cow house and took a self-portrait in the mirror, just as the so-called happy event was refreshing. She really found her face in the mirror glowing with red lips and white teeth. Yelena changed into a new outfit and came to Baylor House with a fragrant aroma. At first, Jin Xingjian was confused by the necklace and mistaken Yelena for Yiming. Love was unnatural in her eyes, and she was willing to accompany her to dinner and watch